Hey, folks, we're going to start just a few minutes late because they're having some technical difficulties, so just give us a few extra minutes. Okay, good evening, folks. It is 6:31. I apologize for the minute late start, but I am going to call the City Council meeting on October 14th, 2025 to order at 6:31. With that said, I would ask that Mr. Holla, I was going to have you lead us in our prayer. If you can do that for us.
Okay. Let's pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we come before you this evening. We thank you so much for just your mercy, your compassion. I thank you for the opportunity that I have to serve this council. You've told us in Luke 11 that there is no neutrality with you. You're either for you or against you. And I thank you for the opportunity I have, the blessing that I have to work with for a group of people that put you first and desire to serve you. I thank you for the opportunity I have to work with the staff, serve the citizens of the city of McLendon-Chisholm, and help the council do the same. We thank you for, as obviously people are here wearing red, we thank you for someone that you blessed and that you gave to us for, even though a short while, had a major impact on the area, the community, the country. We thank you for the opportunity now that we have to pick up the slack that's going to be left and carry forward. We get an opportunity to serve you and proudly proclaim your name. We ask you to help us to do that. I thank you for the people that are here, the opportunity they have to speak up, to voice concerns, criticisms, praises, whatever they have on their mind, they get the opportunity to exercise that. We ask that you just watch over each of us. It's your son's name we pray. Amen.
Councilmember Powers, can you lead us in our pledges?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state under God, one and indivisible. And God bless Texas.
Thank you, gentlemen. So I normally draw a name to dedicate the meetings to. However, tonight I'm going to, obviously we're all in red up here to honor Charlie Kirk and his birthday. So tonight I want to dedicate the meeting to Charlie Kirk's memory. One of my favorite quotes from him was, "Just because you're offended doesn't mean you're right. But I still want rules of decorum, so let's be all kind to one another." So with that said, I don't have any citizens' comments tonight turned in. I talked to them. Does anyone want to say anything before we stop? Nope, so no citizens' comments. With that, we're going to do 2 proclamations. So the first person that I'm going to call up is going to be Bradley Valance. So many people knew that we did some stuff for Kerrville, where the city took action. I called the mayor of Kerrville and talked with him, and then Councilmember Goodwin said, well, let's do more. And then what turned into more ended up being a call to the citizens of Rockwall County. And Mr. Bradley Valance here put a lot of the adults to shame when it came to working like nonstop. So we're going to present him a proclamation tonight. Whereas the city of McLendon-Chisholm is honoring Bradley Valance for his contributions during the call for help and the relief efforts to Kerr County during the tragic floods that swept through the Hill Country on July 4th, 2025. Whereas Bradley Valance, who is 9 years old, displayed a high level of leadership and commitment with the McLendon-Chisholm Fire Station, served as the hub for sorting and loading items for relief to Kerr County. Whereas Bradley Valance is an active member of his community with his big heart and helping others is only bigger when it comes to his love for sports. Bradley enjoys playing flag football, soccer, and golf, and brings the same energy, enthusiasm, and teamwork to the field as he displayed when helping with the call to help for those in need. Whereas Bradley Valance, even outside of athletics and helping others, has a creative imagination which shows in his Lego building sets and assembly intricate war models, including World War II ships, planes, and tanks. Whereas Bradley Valance displays a passion for helping others by volunteering to support breast cancer awareness, selling T-shirts, and serving with his church on Serve Day while packaging meals for families in needs. Whereas, most recently, Brad Valance joined the efforts for the Kerr County flood victims, where Bradley helped package essential supplies. His nonstop attitude to complete the mission surpassed even many of the adults on hand helping. Bradley states that his experience helped him show the challenges that others can face and how we can help to make a difference by giving just a little. Bradley, at his age, knows kindness, dedication, enthusiasm that even adults can look at to do better and even emulate. Whereas Bradley Valance, at a young age, is already leaving a positive mark on his community and inspiring everyone around him to do more. It is with great pleasure that I present this proclamation of appreciation and recognize his efforts in being the example of what is best of McLendon-Chisholm. Signed, Brian McNeil, Mayor. And so I'm also going to present him a Kerr County Challenge coin that were made that show in green with Rockwall County. And it has a map that goes from Rockwall County down to Kerr County. It shows all the departments that were there to help. So you'll get that. And then this is my personal challenge coin. So that is for you. And I'm going to ask that all of my council, because they were a part of the Kerr packaging as well, if they will come up and take a picture with us. Is that okay with you?
Yeah, you get the mayor to get side.
Future mayor right there. We may have him be mayor for a day. Okay, that was quick. Next, we're going to call up to recognize domestic violence. We have some representatives here for that. We can do ours at the next one. Can we wait a week? All right, so this month is Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and I believe this is something every one of us should stand up against and be a voice for. I personally feel that it probably doesn't get enough recognition because I still hear stories from people. One that I'm helping get in front of Senator Hall, and I won't say the person's name, who is adamantly trying to change some legislation, and y'all may even know the story or the person, but I won't say their name. But so I've been helping that because there should never be a time for us to go to violence. It's just, in my mind, it's just not the time. So I'm going to read their proclamation, and then if y'all have something y'all want to say after, I'll let y'all have it. So whereas this proclamation recognizes that every resident deserves to live a life free from violence and abuse, and through this proclamation, we pledge to ensure that victims of domestic violence know they are not alone and that our community is here to support survivors as they courageously move forward in life. And whereas domestic violence is a severe and pervasive crime that affects millions of women, men, children, and communities across the United States each year, violating the basic human rights of safety and dignity. And whereas domestic violence violates an individual's privacy, dignity, security, and humanity through the systematic use of physical, emotional, sexual, psychological, and economic control. And whereas anyone can be a victim of domestic violence, regardless of age, gender, ability, ethnicity, sexual orientation, or socioeconomic status or religion. And whereas an average of 20 people experience some form of domestic violence every 60 seconds, 161 Texans lost their lives due to domestic violence in 2024, and over 10 million people are victimized by domestic violence each year. And whereas domestic violence can be a lifelong consequences, emotionally, mentally, socially, spiritually, and physically harming the core of human spirit. And whereas Domestic Violence Awareness Month highlights the urgent need for our community to come together in preventing domestic violence, standing united in support of survivors, organizations like Women in Need are critical in providing shelter and advocacy in empowering survivors to rebuild their lives with dignity. As a community, we must unite and support and firmly reject any form of judgment or criticism toward survivors. Last year, Women in Need served 760 non-duplicated clients, 71 children, and 176 came through their shelter. This organization serves as a pillar of strength in this fight, working alongside local law enforcement and the district attorney's office to hold offenders fully accountable for their actions, creating a united front that delivers justice and protects survivors. Now, therefore, be it resolved that we, the mayor and city council of McLendon-Chisholm, do hereby proclaim October 2025 as Domestic Violence Awareness Month in the city of McLendon-Chisholm, Texas. We stand united in our commitment to preventing domestic violence, supporting survivors, and ensuring that everyone in our community has the opportunity to live free from violence. Signed, Brian McNeil, Mayor.
Thank you, Mayor.
Standing ovation. We're going to do a picture of everybody at the end.
Thank you, Mayor and council members. My name's Kristen. I'm the Executive Director for Women in Need. And we, as you see, have served many clients non-duplicated, not including the repeat clients that we see every single day. It's because of the community, strong like McLendon-Chisholm, that shoulders this with us and recognizes that it does happen everywhere. Nobody is off limits to that happening, but having leadership that says we will not stand for this and there is help, just knowing where to point them is one of the biggest keys. So thank you for always supporting us and your partnership with the city. I thank you so much.
And I'm also going to present you with my mayor challenge coin and my personal challenge coin. And I'm going to ask the council, because we stand united in this, to join us in a picture with you three ladies, if that's okay. I understand if you don't want them, because I'm the mayor.
Hey, she got the...
Okay. Thank you all for being here for y'all's recognition. Lost my thought on the word for a second there. All right, get my clock up. Okay. We already did citizens' comments, so consent agenda. We have 2 items on consent agenda, and I will look for a motion to approve the consent agenda, and if anything needs to be pulled, let me know. Otherwise, I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Aye.
So tonight, we are going to be, there's an item 10.1 on the agenda. We will be pulling that. There will be no discussion on that tonight, which will bring us to item 10.2. Angela?
Discuss and consider a resolution changing start times for the city council meetings from 6:30 PM to 5:30 PM to allow executive sessions to be held prior to public session.
I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
So on this one, one of the things that I've always been about is when you are here, it is your time, and we want to make sure that we're serving you quickly and professionally and efficiently. And one of those things, when we go into the back in executive session and you're out here, you're waiting for us after you've already come up here to give your time. We started this with the past council. It lasted for about 3 months, and I was asking if we could bring it back. I feel that we can get our stuff done in executive session from 5:30 to 6:30, and when the meeting's called back to order at 6:30, then we're here to serve you, and that gets y'all home earlier, gets my staff home earlier who has been here all day also. So if anyone has any questions, I'll take them. If not, I'll go ahead and ask for a vote. All in favor?
Aye. Aye.
You want to discuss it?
No, does anybody want to discuss?
Oh, I asked.
Oh,
I asked.
okay.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Nay. I'm going to say nay.
So show that 2 nays and 5 yeas. Item 10.3, Angela.
Discuss and consider a resolution supporting the environmental clearance of the Rockwall County portion of the regional outer loop from Collin County line to the Kaufman County line.
I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay, so this one's open for discussion. Staff?
Good evening, Mayor, council members. This item is about supporting the environmental clearance of the Rockwall County portion of the regional outer loop from the Collin County line to the Kaufman County line. Rockwall County, in partnership with TxDOT, is conducting a feasibility study for a new 14.4-mile roadway extending from FM 2755 to State Highway 205 through Fate, Royce City, McLendon-Chisholm, and Rockwall. The proposed project includes 4 lanes of frontage roads, 4 general purpose lanes, and 2 shared-use bicycle and pedestrian paths within a 500-foot right-of-way, with phased construction based on traffic volumes and funding availability. The project is intended to improve north to south connectivity, relieve traffic congestion, and support regional growth by linking the existing highways and the planned outer loop in Collin and Kaufman County. Staff recommends approval of this item as presented, and I'm happy to answer any questions if you have them at this time.
Thank you, Fabrice. Mr. London?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I mean, it's no secret I've been opposed to the Outer Loop project for a while. I've been outspoken against it, but I understand it's coming, and there's pretty much nothing we can do at this point. For the environmental clearance, I believe it's something that actually has to be done, so I do support this, even though I've been opposed to the project. But we need to do it, we need to get it done and do it right. So I do support it.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Tower? No question? You good? Mr. Brewer? No? Mr. Dean?
So what is involved in environmental clearance? And is this as a resolution supporting it? Are we supporting Rockwall County in taking care of this, or who's footing the bill too?
My understanding is that this would be supporting Rockwall County in the handling of this project in partnership with TxDOT.
Okay, thanks.
Mr. Goodwin?
I would say I'm definitely opposed, like Mr. London, but after doing some research, this is coming, and it's going to be a few years away, and we've got to look 15, 20 years from now. What is it going to look like here? And not having a major artery to be able to commute or to go places will really be challenging out here, and I think this is something we've got to do reluctantly.
Thank you, sir. Mr. Powers? No, sir. And I have nothing, so I'll go ahead and take a vote. All those in favor, go ahead and just do it by show of hands. That way we don't have to worry about the microphone. So all those in favor, raise your hand for aye. And show that unanimous. And next is item 10.4, Angela.
Discuss and consider approving an ordinance amending Chapter 13 Utilities of the Code of Ordinance by adding Article 13.05, lien against real property of utility customers for delinquent utility bills.
I'll entertain a motion on this one.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Staff?
I will defer this to our Finance Director, Mr. White.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. This proposed update to our ordinance allows the city to place liens on real property for unpaid utility bills, helping recover costs for services like water, wastewater, solid waste, etc. It includes legal exemptions for homesteads and certain rentals, sets a 10% annual interest rate on unpaid balances, and outlines the lien process. The change aligns with state law and will help to support the city's financial stability.
Mr. London? Mr. Towery? Mr. Brewer? Mr. Dean?
One question, what is our current option for unpaid utility bills right now?
Right now, I believe we can do some sort of collection process, which Infomart does pretty unsuccessfully, truthfully. But we cannot place liens without doing an ordinance that says that we can.
Okay.
And that's the purpose of this.
Perfect, thank you.
Mr. Goodwin?
So this is in addition to, I know we were talking about possibly having RCH cut water. And this is, say somebody doesn't need water anymore, they're moving and their house is up for sale. This would allow them to, or allow us to make sure we enforce that debt.
It would also work on customers that use trash service only and not sewer, because we can't cut water for customers that only have trash service. So it would cover us on that. It would cover us on, say we're literally in the process of cutting the water and they sell the house, but we put the lien on. We would try to cut the water first, I would imagine, before we would put the lien on, but it would protect us from a variety of things. We are still working on the process of the work with RCH, but we're not doing that all at one big sweep. We're trying to do that in phases, so this could possibly help along that way too. So,
Is it possible to do this prior to cutting the water? I know lien's a big deal, but I'd rather lien somebody than cut their water.
So, Mr. Holla, if you could help that out with that, is it possible to put the lien on the property before we work with RCH to cut the water, or do we have to go through?
We have to follow, our ordinance lays out the process that we have to follow before we can do the lien. So there are protections in the ordinance for the property owner, the tenant, et cetera, but there's also protections in the ordinance and in the way the city enforces it to protect the taxpayers who aren't getting the water bills that are due. So long, simple way, yeah, we have to follow the ordinance has laid out. Now, if there's a process, I wouldn't necessarily recommend it, but I'd have to look at if you had a question about maybe how the process, is gonna work. You can always try to do things a different way, okay? Like Oklahoma's offense just couldn't do anything differently against Texas's defense during that game. Here, we have probably a little bit more wiggle room than Oklahoma's offense had, but I would probably recommend leaving it here because I wanted to go through the whole, hey, you know what, on one side, we want to balance the taxpayers not getting the water bills that they're due, but on the other hand, do you really want to start putting liens on property and things like that? Now, having said that, there's a difference between putting a lien on a property and actually going and foreclosing on the lien. If it's a homestead, we can't do it. You can put a lien on that property, but you cannot foreclose on that. That's Texas Constitution. Now, if it's a rental property, that's a little bit different because that's not a homestead. Of course, there are some other issues too. New laws have changed. If you're on property, if a person moves out and it's their water bill, say like $176, well, you can't do anything and prevent the new tenant from coming in, and you can't make the new tenant pay it or the property owner pay it. That is attributable to whoever was in the water bill, even if they're no longer living in the property. So we're trying to do what we can to make sure council wanted to properly address, hey, taxpayers are getting, it's a raw deal for them because their people aren't paying their water bills. That's affecting the city as a whole. But we also want to make sure that we're not, nobody wants to foreclose over somebody over $112 late water bill. So we're trying to balance the two. And I think what we've got in the ordinance, I think does a pretty good, fair and equitable way of doing that. We just need to make sure that we apply equally and evenly to everyone, if that helps.
And to be clear, we have no desire to foreclose on anyone. The goal of this is to make sure that if we have someone that's not paying their bill, at least when they sell their house, we will recoup that money at that time because the city is footing the bill until they pay us.
It's typically utilized as a last measure. You want to exhaust all options before you get to that option.
And again, just putting the lien on there is a completely different step than actually try to do any foreclosure. That is not at all the purpose of whatsoever. Just at some point, if you've got the lien on there, the city will get its money back. So there you go. So this is not okay, people are going to be foreclosed. Again, you can't do that on a homestead, but that is not, as Mr. White said, that is not anywhere, when I was asked to draft it, that wasn't anywhere what the goal was. That was never mentioned. It's just has to be part of the ordinance, and that's the only reason it's in there.
Anything else? Mr. Powers? Mr. Brewer?
And just for clarity, we're talking trash and sewer bills. We're not talking water bills because we do not provide water, correct?
Correct. We are only working with RCH on trash and sewer in Sonoma Verde, obviously, and then future subdivisions that will have sewer would fall under this as well. But we have nothing to do with the water service. We just have an agreement with RCH that was signed like 10 years ago that they would help support us in this way if the time came that we needed it.
Yes, I just want everybody to know that because
I was just using that as an example. We've never had any water issues here, so it's just a normal example to use, so.
There's that job opening again. So any more discussion? I'll go ahead and do a hand vote. All those in favor, say aye. And show that unanimous. Before I call up 10.5, I want to entertain a motion if the council so wants to reopen 10.2. I feel I might have moved too fast, and I'm not sure if anyone wanted some discussion on that. So I'll entertain a motion to open that again. So
moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. And I apologize. I think I was moving too fast for even myself. So that's reopened. Mr. London, do you have anything on that? Mr. Towery?
Yeah, so I'm obviously in favor if it works for everyone. We have, the team can be together at that time. If it's a hindrance to somebody, I'm wide open on time. I just want to make sure that it works for the majority. So.
Mr. Brewer? Mr. Dean? No. Mr. Goodwin?
Is this something that can be gone over in executive session, or is it got to be done out here?
Executive session.
All right. Well, I'll be 45 minutes late if it's a 5:30 meeting. That's the earliest I can get here. So I don't know what to do.
Mr. Powers?
Yes, sir, that was my primary concern. It's not a problem for me, but people that are still working and trying to get from work to here by 5:30, not only the council folks, but also people that are coming from work that might like to come to the meeting. I know you're going to do executive session first. I'm not like radically opposed to this or anything. My concern was not for myself, but just if this might put, if somebody's coming home from work, they're not even going to be able to go home and have a meal or take a shower or anything like that, and then they have to come. That was my main concern.
Well, so for as far as the public would be concerned, 6:30 would be that time. So, because they can't go into executive session with us.
Yeah, the executive.
So
I'm
that,
sorry.
no, you're fine. So that would never impact the public. I do recognize that there might be times where people may not be able to be here as long as we have a majority in executive session. If I'm not mistaken, does it have to be a super majority or is it just a regular majority? Regular majority. So the previous council, when I did this, there was one member that just could not be there.
Okay.
I also feel that a lot of times, like, we can be proactive in that. If it's to serve the people and move the meeting along, if I know you can't be here and it's the last 15 minutes, maybe that's something that we can meet on one-on-one and maybe try to address some of those concerns. Maybe we can, I believe he can dial in if you're able to dial in. There's other ways we can do it. And then if he got here at 6:10, we'd still be in there for 20 minutes and he can get a recap. My goal is to move the meetings as fast as I possibly can, efficiently and effectively for the people. And to that point, if there is an item that we get to and Mr. Goodwin wants to go back into executive session, there's not a limit on executive sessions. So if Mr. Goodwin said, hey, I couldn't be here for a majority of that, I would like to go back into executive session on that, I'm going to do that. I'm not going to make it where he can't be a part of it.
Perhaps I misunderstood. The executive session is going to start at 5:30. Sometimes executive session will take 5 minutes, sometimes 15, sometimes are we coming right back out and starting a meeting, or is the regular meeting going to start at 6:30?
6:30.
Okay.
Yeah. What would happen is, the way we did it in the past is, as soon as we come out of executive session, Mr. Holla, correct me if I'm wrong, I adjourn us from executive session, no action taken, and then I immediately put us in recess until 6:30. So that means we're just in recess. If you wanted to drive down to Sonic, if you had time, you could do that too. And I respect Councilmember Goodwin, and I'll do everything I can to make available the correct information to him, so that he knows. And there's also, like tonight, we're not going into executive session. So there may even be times where there's not a need.
Yeah, fair enough. I misunderstood that part. So we're all good. Thank you.
Okay. So since I reopened that, I do have to do another vote, I believe.
No, well, if I don't remember exactly what the vote was, but if there's potential to change it, first you need to reconsider that vote. So you basically motion to reconsider, yes, and now it's back on the table as if it was never voted. But the way it'll be, just one thing I wanted to add for Councilmember Powers, the way it'll be posted is, it's a regular meeting that starts at 5:30, but item number 1 is the executive session. And then we can say, hey, regular session will reconvene at 6:30. So we can do that. Otherwise, you'd have to post it as a special meeting starting at 5:30. Then you would need the 5 of 7 or 6 of 7. I don't went to law school because I don't know math. Whatever would be the 75%. That's what you would need for executive session if it was special. So it'll be posted just as a regular meeting with the executive session at 5:30, and then the regular meeting, you could just start it whenever, but it would be at 6:30. I think you could do something like that, but it would be, just to stress, it would be a regular meeting with the executive session as item 1 at 5:30.
And the city of Rockwall does it this way also. And again, it's just to try to move along so that we're here for the people. But again, if there's an item that Mr. Goodwin wanted to go back and talk on, I'm not going to tell him no. He'll always have that opportunity.
So, based on the clarification, I'm good with it.
Okay, so I need to call for reconsideration on the vote. Is that what you said? Yes. Okay. Let's just do it that way, just to be safe. Right. So I'll entertain a motion to reconsider the vote on this.
So moved.
In a second. And by a show of hands, all those in favor say aye. And show that unanimous. And again, I apologize. I moved that fast, and then after the vote, I was like, I need to reopen that to make that right. So I apologize, Councilmember Powers and Councilmember Goodwin for that. Okay, so now we have to vote again? Yes. Oh, so that was the reconsideration. Now we're voting again. I learned, thank you, sir. So now that was to reconsider us to do the vote. So for clarification, now we're actually going to take the vote. For all those in favor to move the start time to 5:30, by show of hands, say aye. And that is unanimous as well. Thanks again for y'all's patience on that. Now, 10.5, Angela. And thanks for your patience, Mr. Davis and Mr. Phillips, on that. I apologize.
Discuss and consider resolution approving a letter of agreement between the City of McLendon-Chisholm and TDI GP LLC regarding Sonoma Verde sanitary sewer.
And I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Is there a second?
Second.
Okay. Staff.
The proposed letter of agreement is actually between the City of McLendon-Chisholm, TDI, as well as MC 550 Land Holdings. The proposed letter of agreement formalizes the arrangement for completion of an upsized sanitary sewer line along FM 550 to accommodate existing and future development in the Sonoma Verde area. The agreement provides for adequate wastewater capacity to serve the existing Sonoma Verde subdivision, as well as the proposed Sonoma Verde North and Sonoma Verde East developments. In consideration of TDI's completion of the upsized line, the city will allocate wastewater capacity as outlined in the agreement. Approval of this letter of agreements will ensure sufficient infrastructure to support planned growth and development in this rapidly expanding area of the city. Staff recommends approval of the resolution and agreements as presented. I'd like to invite TDI representative, Mr. Stephen Davis, who's here in the audience, to provide some additional information regarding this item.
Mr. Davis.
Thanks, Reese. Mayor, Council, I appreciate the time. This really is just a letter agreement that outlines how we're going to move forward with upgrading the wastewater for the city of McLendon-Chisholm. Just for a little bit of background, in 2007, there was an original development agreement for Sonoma Verde, and in that agreement, it provided for roughly 1,095 LUEs or wastewater equivalencies for Sonoma Verde, and an additional 400 units to be used by the then developer MC 550. So that's kind of the old business, and this agreement just really codifies what's already in there. The second portion of our upgrade does have or deals with Sonoma Verde North and Sonoma Verde East. So with our upgrade, we'll provide that. We were asked during this process if we were willing to upgrade the system to be able to accommodate future development in the city of McLendon-Chisholm. In particular, the two developments that are kind of contemplated right now, the Legacy Trails and Willow Creek. So we got with the city engineers and the city staff and looked at what that upgrade would take. And we are certainly willing to come alongside the city and take care of upgrading that system. It's approximately $600,000 to $700,000, I think, for the upgrade. What that upgrade will do, it will allow for all of Sonoma, Sonoma North, East, the 400 that were originally already agreed to, these two new developments, which leaves about 300 LUEs in addition. So what we're looking to do as consideration for that is just the ability to make our money back on that upgrade over time, giving us those 300 excess units that whenever they do come into the city, that we would get paid, not from the city, but from another developer, another development that actually comes in. So all of this is done without any additional cost or any cost at all to the city of McLendon-Chisholm. So that's kind of the background of where we are. Very simple, very straightforward, but certainly happy to dig into numbers or any more details that you guys would like if you got any additional questions.
Mr. London?
Appreciate this. The one question I have is, so we're doing this is a pipe upsize, right?
Yes,
So the capacity, my only concern is the capacity for whatever facility you have that's doing the treatment on this. Is that going to be impacted at all, or is that just something that's already planned ahead of time?
It is not at all. What the city of McLendon-Chisholm currently has is an agreement with the city of Rockwall for wastewater, who has an agreement with North Texas, and I think it goes over to the plant in Mesquite. Plenty of capacity. I think the capacity that the city has is, correct me if I'm wrong, I believe it's 17,000 LUEs.
So well above what we have.
We're in the 800 range right now. So yes, the ultimate treatment of it is certainly contemplated.
Okay, appreciate that. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you, Mr. London. Mr. Tower? Mr. Brewer? Mr. Dean?
Are you comfortable, City Manager Fabrice, that we can from the developments that are coming that will be paying for this upsize, at least their portion of this upsize, that we can make sure that they'll be charged that? I mean, do we have something in place with these other customers, other development projects going on? How do we know for sure that they're going to pay for, basically compensate TDI for what they're upsizing? Does that make sense?
How do we make sure that the other developers involved in this particular project
Yeah.
will pay?
Yeah, so do we just say, no, you don't get your whatever planning and zoning? They don't get the sewage connection without coming up with the money to compensate? Okay.
And I'd be happy to answer a little bit of that.
Sure.
Yes,
Please.
I think what it really is the LUEs that are there, or the taps that are there, 400 of those are owned by MC 550, and the 300 are owned by TDI. So when we will sell those to developers, again, it's not a profit center, it's just trying to make our money back. We sell it to those developers, then they could come to the city and pay the $3,000 to the city and go on down the road. So that's kind of the protection, I guess, which is really what this agreement is about, the city's recognition of the ownership, and maybe a bad word, but technically it's the ownership of those LUEs.
Protection's a good word to use
Yeah.
here. That's kind of what I was going for.
And the
Thank you for
city,
that
they still
question.
have to pay the city for those connections, so the city's never out those funds.
That's correct.
Mr. Goodwin? My mic keeps messing up tonight. So by show of hands, all those in favor say aye. Show that unanimous. Thank you, Mr. Davis. Mr. Phillips?
Thank y'all very much, appreciate it.
And that brings up item 10.6, Angela.
Discuss and consider approval of an ordinance amending the zoning ordinance, Chapter 3, Building Regulations, Article 3.05, Signs, by repealing and replacing Section 3.05.023, subsection 2.
Hey, Mayor, real fast on that one, I want to make one correction. Where it says amending the zoning ordinance, that, I could have sworn when Angela sent me to review the agenda that I changed that, but Angela is nearly perfect and I am not. So I apologize. I clearly didn't do that. It's not a big deal. We can still act on it tonight because our zoning ordinance is clearly 14A of the Code of Ordinances. This is clearly Chapter 3. So it's not amending the zoning ordinance. Otherwise, we'd have to go through P&Z, 10-day notice, 15 notice, fourth council, so et cetera, et cetera. It's Chapter 3 is building regulations. Chapter 14A is our zoning ordinance, so it's not amending the zoning ordinance. So I just want to make sure we corrected that. That should have read Code of Ordinances, so that's all.
So on the motion, we need to remove the word amending.
Remove the word zoning and say code of.
Code of. Okay, so I will so this one, you're gonna have to say the motion, not so moved on this one. So someone needs to make a motion to approve an ordinance amending Code of Ordinance Chapter 3. Actually, I can read it and then they can just say so moved, correct? Okay. I will entertain a motion to consider approval of an ordinance amending Code of Ordinance, Chapter 3, Building Regulations, Article 3.05, Signs by repealing and replacing Section 3.05.023, subsection 2.
So move.
In a second?
Second.
Okay, that opens it up for discussion.
Mayor, this item was placed on the agenda at the request of Councilmember Towery, so I'm going to go ahead and defer to him.
Mr. Tower.
Yeah, so this is a first of many ordinances to start getting ahead of the incoming development as we start to work towards our vision for the city and what we want to see. As promised, my goal is to focus on city issues and city needs, and this was definitely one of them. So what we're trying to get ahead of is what we're looking at is wanting to keep monument-style signs. So all of our commercial signage will be no more than 6 feet tall off the ground. I appreciate Mr. Sherman's help. We really dug in, and I think we came up with a great ordinance that's going to address that issue. So, yeah. Oh, and Mr. Hollow, a little bit, just a little bit, So, yeah, appreciate it.
Mr. Chairman, I want to make sure, but I was.
Mr. Lund, do you have any questions for Councilmember Tower?
I just want to thank you for doing this. I was pleased to see it when it came in the packet. And as I was reading through the packet, I was just like, oh, this is what we've been talking about. And I'm glad to see that this is hitting here. And I look forward to a lot of the other items that we've talked about in the past during some meetings that are going to come to fruition.
Mr. Brewer?
Yeah, I want to thank you too for doing this. We do need to start setting some standards, and because we are going to be growing really quick. I did have a question. I know it talks about digital signs, and I know there's one off 205. Is that grandfathered in?
Yeah. So what I'm learning through this process is we don't really have a lot of control retroactively. So this is really going to be just future moving forward. But I do believe we have something in the ordinance where if it gets damaged over to or it gets replaced, the new signage would have to conform to our new
Yeah, it's
signage.
considered exemption unless there's a rebuild, modification, or a repair from some sort of storm damage or something where it's greater than, I believe, 60%. So yes, but it's basically a grandfather clause for those existing signs.
Mr. Dean?
I'm good, thank you.
Mr. Goodwin, sir?
This is the stuff that, when you were running for council, this is the stuff you talked about, and it's really good to see it coming through. Well done.
Mr. Powers?
The accolades are going to get redundant now. But so I'll say thank you for doing this, and I'm 100% on board with it. And I think and the fact that we don't have a lot of, everything's just starting now, we're going to be right out ahead of it. And thank you to everybody else who contributed. So thanks.
I want to say thank you as well. Councilmember Towery, when he ran, he had a heart of wanting to make changes. One of the things he said to me just recently, and I actually echoed it last night, is past councils were laser focused on certain things and we forgot about the other responsibilities in our city. And the wonderful thing I love about everyone on this council is every one of them have already contributed ideas and thoughts. So I would say be ready to see more agenda items coming from everyone on this dais that is committed to making things happen. So great job, Councilmember Towery. Knocked it out of the park. So we'll by a show of hands. All those in favor say aye. All right, show that one unanimous as well. Good job. So that brings us up to announcements. Chief.
Only announcement that I have, excuse me, is we will be doing the Halloween drive-thru at the station again. Just so people hear that. The only announcement that I have is that we will be doing the Halloween drive-thru at the station again this year.
Thank you, Chief. Y'all gonna decorate it?
Sure.
Awesome.
We could all, Mayor, we can always put stuff like that, if we want to, we can always put stuff like that on our website.
Yes.
Doesn't mean to be good to have something, because that way anybody, anytime there's news about the city, they can always just go to our city website and check it out.
Thanks for pointing that out. If we can get that on the,
Gotcha.
boy, that attorney of ours. Peyton, do you have anything, sir? Mr. Holliday? Mr. London?
The only thing I want to do is remind everyone that October 1st was the kickoff for Toys for Tots nationwide, really. And we've got a big, I don't have the date in front of me, but there's a big kickoff that's going to happen for Toys for Tots. You can go to the toysfortots.org, and I'm trying to remember our local Rockwall one. So I think it's rockwall.toysfortots. You're not on.
RockwallToysForTots.org.
There we go. And so we'll make sure and get everybody out there. And I think are we doing a pickup here?
Yes, we'll have a box here, and I know the fire departments get included in a competition for bragging rights. Some of the items that the coordinator for Rockwall County, Jeff Skinner, has put together is pretty awesome. He's got the standard service deal that does every year, and those that like midget wrestling. There is a midget wrestling match that will raise toys for Tots.
I'd just like to clarify.
Mr. Powers will not be in that.
You didn't come up with that name, did you? Just to clarify.
No. But there will be a midget wrestling.
The mayor normally calls it the vertically challenged wrestling.
Yes, thanks for correcting me.
He's very politically sensitive.
Yeah. That's all for me.
Is that all from Mr. London? Thanks. It's going to be hard to top. Mr. Towery?
I would just like to remind people and ask people, if you see issues, if you see things that you want changed in the community, if there's anything, any ideas that you have, please email me. I would love to hear. As always, it allows me to know that I'm moving in the right direction. So please.
Mr. Brewer? Mr. Dean? Nothing for me. Mr. Goodwin?
Wednesday, November 12th, it's going to be the next breakfast with council. I'm going to have a special guest, Chief Stowe. So Wednesday, 7:30, Rosa's, the 12th, November 12th at Rosa's.
Mr. Powers?
Yes, as the liaison to the fire department from council, I had a meeting this morning for just about an hour with Chief Stowe, and we got through about probably half of the material we were going to address together. So we're going to meet again before the end of the month, and at that point I'll bring a report, like a status report to council, let you guys know kind of where we're at. And then as we go along, probably once a month, every other council meeting, I'll give a report, or as is necessary. Okay?
Thank you. Angela, do you have anything? Jeff? Fabrice?
Just a brief reminder to everybody that the city is still accepting applications to serve on various boards and committees, including Economic Development Committee, as well as the Finance and Audit Advisory Board. This is a great opportunity for you to get involved and be a part of the conversations. So the application can be accessed on the city website. There are only two major criteria for qualifying for these. One, you have to be over the age of 18 years old, and the second one is that you have to have been a resident of the city at least for the past 6 months.
And then I have a few announcements. One, I want to make a correction. Fabrice and I spoke the last council meeting. We were going to cancel the 11/11 meeting because we're recognizing Veterans Day. After talking with Fabrice, we're not going to have that meeting on 11/18. It's actually going to be 11/10. And the reason is because of other time issues that could happen for P&Z and making sure that we stay in the same week. Fabrice felt that it's better for us to be on 11/10. So Council, if y'all can make note that the 11/11 meeting is canceled for Veterans Day, and we will hold our special meeting on 11/10. Also, a reminder, we canceled the 10/28 meeting and moved it to 10/27 that Monday, as well as most of the council will be getting ready to attend TML events for training. And one other thing I had in my box today, addressed to the mayor and council. Thank you for honoring my service to you and the great folks of McLendon-Chisholm. Your support meant the world to me. I promise not to be a stranger. Signed, Bev. She wanted all of us to have that. Good God, I swear. And I think that covers everything that I had. With that, it is 7:25 and we are adjourned.